Hi folks. Following on from last lesson, we're going to be looking at the existence of evil and how Christians respond to this, okay? So the first thing I'd like you to do is consider the following two scenarios. For each, I'd like you to write down whether you think that they are examples of evil or not in the group chat and put why you feel that way. Okay, so the first one is a US photographer who takes a photo of a starving child during the famine in Sudan is instructed by authorities not to touch or help this poor girl due to the risk of disease. Now, this was an actual event that occurred. I'd like you to write down your opinion on whether you think this is an example of evil or not. The idea that this photographer was choosing to be inactive in this situation, and write in the group chat whether or not you think that this is an example of evil. Then, once you've done that one, could you do the same for the following scenario? So, two families are neighbours in Sri Lanka. Family A have a little boy who is terminally ill, while Family B have a healthy little girl. A tsunami hits their community, which Family A survive and Family B do not. Okay, so the family with the little boy who is terminally ill do survive, and the family with a healthy little girl don't. Can you write in the chat whether or not you think that this is an example of evil and why? Okay, so the aims of this lesson are to help you know how to explain, to identify, evil in the world. So that will involve you being able to look at different situations and work out whether you think that they are examples of evil. And I want you to be able to describe the different types of evil that exist in the world, okay? And finally, I'd also like you to be able to explain a Christian's possible reasons for evil in the world. So, there are two types of evil and suffering in the world. The first is moral evil and suffering. This is caused by the actions of humans, such as the Holocaust. Hitler, along with his army, were responsible for the actions and events that happened in the Holocaust. And this is an example of humans conducting actions which are evil and cause suffering. So that is different from natural evil and suffering, which is a type of suffering caused by nature and has nothing to do with human actions, okay? So this could be a tsunami, it could be an earthquake, it's something that's had no influence by the actions of humans. So, what I'd like you to do is pause the video for a second, write down these definitions on some paper. You're very welcome to do this on a Word document as well. Draw a picture to symbolise each, okay? So this will help you when you're revising this topic. Draw a picture which is going to jog your memory about what moral and natural evil and suffering are. And I'd like you to provide two more examples for each type of suffering. Then, for anyone who's feeling particularly strong today, I'd like you to add in the group chat which type of evil you think there is more of in the world and why. I'd like you to write your answer in the group chat for me after you've done that. So you can pause the video here to complete those tasks. Thanks, folks. Okay, so we've established the type of evil that exists in the world. And I'm going to ask you to think back to the lessons we looked at about the nature of God, the parts of his character which make him supreme, and why Christians choose to worship him. This is going to cause some issues when we think of the existence of evil in the world. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to visit the BBC website by following the hyperlink here. And that's got some information about the different characteristics of God and how there are issues and tension which arises from these parts of God's character with the idea that evil does exist. Now, in the assignment section for this lesson, I've placed the document called 10OP4 Worksheet Week beginning the 11th of January. And what I'd like you to do on the triangle in that worksheet is label each point with one of the three omnis that you see on the website above. And under each, I'd like you to summarise the inconsistency of this part of God's character with the idea that there is evil in the world, okay? I want you to explain what the problem is for me there. So go ahead and pause the video there as well, and then carry on to the next slide as soon as you've finished that task. Okay, folks, now that you've done that for me, I'd like you to read the account of Genesis 3, which is on a Word document in the assignment section for you as well. And I'd like you to summarise the key events of this Bible extract. I want you to make sure that you include how this account shows that evil exists in the world, okay? So, you can do that in a few bullet point sentences. Obviously, it's going to be a lot shorter than the extract that you've got. And I want that to be the case. I would like you to then answer the following questions, and this will help you to evaluate in a way that you would be doing in an exam, okay? So, answer the following questions. What type of evil do Adam and Eve demonstrate? Okay, so what are they demonstrating, moral or natural evil in the story? And then, this is a tougher question to answer. I'd like you to just put your thoughts and reflections on this. And the question is, does the fall explain why natural evil exists? Okay, so it might, as a clue to you, it might give a really good explanation of why moral evil exists in the world. But it may not give a sufficient reason for why natural evil exists. So this question is asking you to reflect on your opinion on this, and I'd like you to write your answer to these two questions below your summary, okay? So you can pause the video and then move on to the final slide of this lesson. Okay, so we are going to do a quiz just to recap our knowledge. So you guys will have been off doing your own independent learning throughout most of the lesson. So for the last 5 minutes of this lesson, I would like you to go on to Kahoot, and I'll share my screen with you, and we can complete a quiz. And whoever wins the quiz will get a chocolate bar from me when things are back to normal, okay? So I'll see you there, guys. Thank you.